Today's reading is from Acts chapter 17, verse 15, and verse 22 to chapter 18, verse 1. Many of you will have visited Athens and seen the Areopagus, close to the Acropolis, where Paul delivered this sermon. Greek religion at the time worshipped many different gods, a whole pantheon of them, and as Paul walked through the city, he would have seen altars dedicated to many different gods in this polytheistic culture. One of them even, he spotted, was to an unknown god, which seems to be an acknowledgement that there were more gods than the Greeks knew of, and they perhaps didn't want to give anyone offence or leave out anyone's god. Paul used this in a rather clever way to speak to the Athenians, starting from their own experience, which is always a good way to communicate. The unknown God, Paul told them, was the creator of everything in actual fact, the supreme God, beside whom all that they worshipped were nothing, just statues or ideas. The Greeks personified values which they esteemed, such as courage or strength or love or war, and so one could say that their pantheon expressed their value system in a way. The Jewish people were used to other nations worshipping idols, and quite often had slipped into doing this themselves as well. But Paul pointed out a fundamental difference between the true God, the one deserving of the name, and such idols. Anything within the material universe is not and cannot be God. So anything made by humans is simply an artifact. The word God ought to be reserved for the origin of being itself, the originator of the whole universe, Big Bang and all, as we would say today, being itself, the source or the first cause. The Hebrew name for God, I am that I am, seems to express this idea of ultimate being. You and I would not want to think that we ever worship idols. Yet we may sometimes fail to put God first. Remember Jesus saying, "You cannot love God and mammon." That is, which comes first for you? Mammon, money, wealth, prosperity, success, security, or God? It can't be both at the top of the list of priorities. Mammon is focused on me and my needs and my greed. I am in the centre. I come first. If we focus on God, then we're looking outwards and putting self lower down the list. Some people say the shape of the cross reminds them of this. The upright is like the letter I. The crossbar crosses it out. Not I in the centre, but thou, O God.